Now let's bring to you our latest news headlines. And in our first story, the Ghana Immigration Service says it is alarmed by the growing number of human settlements along the borders with its neighbors, Togo. These settlements, according to the service, fuel cross-border crimes and illegal trade of smuggled goods in and out of Ghana. As part of our Porous border series, Volta region correspondent Fred Kwame throws a spotlight on Gakli, a border community in the Ketu South municipality. His report is read to you.
It's business as usual at Pillar 11, one of the numerous unapproved routes to and from Ghana to neighboring Togo. Though there are border security officials here, the checks are not as rigorous as you would see on the approved routes. A border officer told me because community members interrelate, work and live in both countries, it is difficult restricting people from crossing. There are several of such unapproved routes leading to Gakli and adjoining communities in the area, as only imaginary lines separate the two countries.
There are different tribes here in Gakli. We have the Frafres, the Hausas, the Grusis, the Arabs and many other tribes from West Africa.
Gakli is a settler community along the southeastern part of the Ghana-Togo border in the Duta electoral area of Aflao. Its inhabitants are mostly citizens of countries in the West African sub-region, with Islam being the dominant religion. Being the most economically viable community in the area, business is concentrated in the fine boy market constructed by a Malian.
The chiefs approached Fine Boy to help construct a market in the area. So he obliged and constructed it to help the community. The market has become a one-stop shopping center for everything needed.
The Ghanaian government benefits very little from the local economy as traders here enjoy tax holidays. The shops here are mostly stocked with francophone or foreign products brought into the country through the unapproved routes. In Gakli, almost everything is priced in the West African CFA franc, including lands, making the Togolese currency dominant here. Another significant thing is that here, petrol is sold in bottles. You need between 475 and 500 CFA franc, or its CD equivalent, to buy a liter of petrol. Prosper is a unit committee member. Inhabitants here mostly travel by motorbikes because there are no fuel stations in the area. Some people purchase the fuel at Aflao and sell to us in bottles. Now this helps fuel our bikes to enable us to go about our various activities. The unit committee chairman, Koshivi Bakba, believes citing an official border post in the area would enhance security and lessen cross-border crimes.
Former
President Mahama and President of Togo, Faure Gnassingbé, promised to establish a border post here during their visit to the area. We are appealing to government to consider doing that. The Ketu South Municipal Chief Executive Elliot Edem Agbenawu lamented human settlements along the border were undermining the country's security. He indicated various measures are being taken to streamline activities in Gakli in line with the country's laws.
In fact, we have more than 28 unapproved routes in the municipality, but immigration has been helping. However, what we earmarked to do, for which we've already started and about 60% has been completed, is to construct a road from the main border, joining the no man's land, to link with the Segbe. The unapproved routes are there, and that is where these merchants come from. You know, that market is solely, I can say it's solely for these foreigners who comes from Togo, Mali, Niger, and all that. They sell their cloth and other things. So we are encouraging them to go through the main border, but they also not comfortable. But I think that the main border rather, it's the best for them. But they also not comfortable. But because we also want to check illegality in our borders, in our unapproved routes, and we are strengthening security around those areas. I can tell you that our anus is opened over here as a country, and so I know that His Excellency the President is very much committed about this.
Until stringent measures are put in place at these unapproved routes leading to the country, Ghana will continue to lose revenue due to smuggling through these routes. Fred Kwame Asari's report for JoyNews.
And already there are concerns. Logistical constraints seem to have come up strongly as one of the key issues affecting the immigration service, as most of Ghana's borders in the Savannah and Upper West regions. Issues ranging from poor accommodation to transport stared the Controller General of the Ghana Immigration Service, Kwame Isuatichi, in the face when he toured the northern region to see for himself what goes on. There's more in this report by Martina Bugari.
The immigration boss started his journey on Friday, the 2nd of August, and as of Tuesday, 6th August, he had already seen 14 approved routes, including the one in Kalba in the Savannah region, where a commander of immigration shares a single room with his junior officers.
We've all seen the conditions, very horrible, not fit for human beings, and that is one of the reasons why I'm here, to see things for myself. So I'll send the report to my minister, then to government, and I know my minister is hardworking, like all the ministers. Definitely an action will be taken to remedy the situation.
This was after he also checked out unapproved routes of entry into the country. In all, he saw for himself 25 of borders with porous conditions. At the Kalba border, an officer said they had to use their personal motorbikes for patrol.
Now we have a personal motor that the officers use here. But the other unapproved route, they don't have motors, so they walk, they go on foot patrol. So the sector has only 2 motorbikes at the moment. One is at Poly, that is serving that area. So we also have one over here. So for now, our challenge is motorbikes.
At Kalba, a senior officer said he had to share his room with other junior officers.
The senior officer in charge, I said the senior most among the junior officers in the industry. And here the junior officers, and there's another woman in that. So the lady comes.
The phenomenon does not make for safe feeling, especially for those who live close to these borders, sharing walls with countries under attack by terrorists. Mr. Techi said the problem will receive topmost attention.
The challenge is the motorbikes and the vehicles. So we're going to work towards that.
Communication.
And the communication equipment. In fact, we were asked to come up with our logistical requirements, which we've done through the ministry to government. So it's being worked upon. I don't want to talk too much and give you the assurance, but the assurance is that hopefully by close of the year you see some wonders, you know. So don't worry, just keep working hard the conditions and the terrains are rough. That should toughen and harden us.
In the face of these challenges, the Controller General commended his men for their resilience despite the gaps.
Right. Then, like the transfer to those who have stayed here and they have overstayed 7, 8, 9 years. No. I have to work on it when I get to Accra immediately. So, I'll encourage you to keep the spirit up. At least I've come seeing the challenges, and that is an eye-opener. So it's better always for us, the so-called, the big men, we sit in Accra. We need to come down, move from our offices, the cozy office, air conditioning office, and come down. When we come down, we see the relatives on the ground. That will inform us when we go back to our office, and that is also inform us when letters are reaching to us to act on some of these challenges. So I'll just give a thumb up to you for keeping up the spirit.
The Joy News series on porous borders, meanwhile, continues from Monday, the 12th of August 2019. Martina Bugri's report for Joy News.
And you've witnessed or experienced any of those situations which could be classified as one of those sections of Ghana's porous borders, please make sure that you send us messages or you tag us with some pictures and videos through Facebook especially, or through Twitter. And as you do all that, please know that we'll relay all of them for you. But let's talk about the Ghana Grand Tour now. Day 3 was supposed to be a rest day for the bikers, but the British High Commissioner Ian Walker and his team decided to make it another eventful one by visiting the Gonja Kingdom and the St. Anne's Catholic Church.
Amidst some hilarious dance moves, Ian Walker, the British High Commissioner, and the Yagbonwura, the overlord of the Gonja people, exchanged gifts at the Jakpa Palace in Larambaga. Head of Strategic Partnerships at the UK Embassy in Ghana, Jasmine Griffiths, was also coronated Honorary Queen of Gonja. Speaking on behalf of the Grand Ghana Tour, the British envoy expressed gratitude to the overlord for their warm reception. He acknowledged the key role played by the Yagbonwura in the community and said he hoped this was the beginning of a long partnership rather than a one-off event. Ian Walker later delivered a sermon at the St. Anne's Cathedral in Damongo this morning, where he encouraged parishioners to work hard to overcome personal challenges. The UK High Commissioner to Ghana is riding a 1,000-kilometer distance from the south to the north of Ghana in the hope that his action will move people to donate. You can support the Kolobubent unit by donating via 0207 566 351 or to the account number 01001004061801.
And please do remember, there will be more highlights on the show later this morning. And moving on, an 82-year-old man, Venance Chei, says he wants to help visually impaired people to stop begging on the streets. He says the only way he could achieve or attain this dream is by equipping them with some of his skills, massaging the feet. Already, some beneficiaries of his blind and reflexology project are already enjoying the benefits, as they say. They're now financially independent. Maxwell Agbagba has the rest of the story.
It is morning at the Accra Rehabilitation Center. 82-year-old Venance Cheche is leading about 10 visually impaired men and women to the Holy Spirit Cathedral at the Braka. The church has given him a small room to practice his trade, reflexology. Reflexology is simply a massage of the feet. Practitioners believe parts of the body are connected and can be found under the feet. Hence, when it is massaged, it brings relief. He says he wants to teach visually impaired people how to massage feet so they can make money and be financially independent.
When I am in a trotro or in a moving vehicle, I see them at the traffic lights begging for arms, begging people, the sort of words they say, the sort of song they sing. And I ask myself, if at the end of the day, nothing is given to these people, how do they live? But my aim of training them is they should become trainer of trainees, so that they can train some other blinds into reflexology. But with the reflexology, they can be employed in factories, offices, to be working on people to get good health. That is my aim of training them.
George Akamisi Abelsi is a visually impaired person. He was trained 2 years ago by the 82-year-old man. He says he's already reaping the benefits.
It has helped me a lot. I've been practicing it. People call me to their homes and I do it. And I don't just go to do it free for them. But I get something out of it. That is something for food I get out of it. Somebody calls me to his house. He takes me a lot of fare. I need a lot of fare. And I get 50 cedis. Okay. Tell them, I'm not coming to massage your whole body, but I'm going to work within your feet, your hands and then your feet. And your hands and your feet contain all parts in your body. And then when I say that to them, they are always surprised. But after finishing the job, they come back and say, "Wow, I'm relieved out of some pains or some problems that I was facing." Wow.
Ni Entry Gwabelo Flesher is a 75-year-old family physician. He's one of the people who visits the 82-year-old man regularly to have his feet massaged.
That any time I'm having many of these problems and Mr. Chichi comes in, I get better. I always feel that my energy has been revived, and I believe that it has been of immense benefit to me because I still feel young. And sometimes I like aerobic exercise, dancing. And I'm a student of bouncing when it comes to dancing. Okay. And you get to a point I get exhausted, which is unusual with me. But since I started having this reflexology, I started coming back to my normal state of energy.
Now, after 10 years of operations, MTN Ghana is rewarding its loyal Momo customers. That will be mobile money customers. And 24-year-old Salome Yama is the second customer to win a brand new Hyundai i10 after emerging as the customer with the highest number of mobile transactions over a period. Speaking to JoyNews, the head of MTN Mobile Money unit, Eli Hini, asked customers to be calm, while stakeholders also engage government on the recent announcement of a hike in the communication service tax.
Domestic revenue to contain rising expenditure, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta increased communication tax to 9% from 6%. However, some industry players have raised concern, saying this will be a burden on the ordinary Ghanaian. Head of Mobile Money Service at MTN Ghana, Eli Hini, indicated that some engagements are currently underway with government to see how best it could be reviewed.
The fact that the data speeds are much faster now, and so you're able to do a lot of things within a short time. So the data volume is what is running faster. It is not the cost. The cost, we actually are bundling at a much cheaper cost today than you would normally have had in the past.
Recently, the government actually placed or increased the talk tax from 6 to 9%. Are you going to shift those burdens to your large customers you have, or you are going to absorb this communication tax?
Before this came up, we were not in the known. We have been informed, it's been talked about, We are currently reviewing it, and we would tell our customers how it to be implemented. We would act in the best interest of our customers in everything, and so we would communicate to them how it to be implemented, and they'll be duly educated so they can follow through on how the implementation will run.
He also cautioned customers to be very vigilant not to fall prey to scammers who call them without official contacts from MTN, as the company plays its part to enhance security features.
We have enhanced the security on the platform, and I'm sure you've heard in the news that we are also ISO certified, which means that our processes meet international standard. The customers also have to play their part to protect their wallets. You've talked about one, don't give out your PIN. And like I made the example, it's just like giving your key to someone. If you give your key to someone and he gets to your house, he can open your door.
Some winners of the Momo promotion could not hide their joy.
When the call came, I thought it was days 419, but when I held the phone and then saw the number again, 0244 300,000, I realized this is the authorized MTN number. So I felt happy. So
excited. I was expecting when they took the first point, that was last month. I was like, these people, why? So when later they continue adding the points, I was, oh, this is true. So I would then go and then continue using the mobile money more.
Fred Duhu's report for Joy Business.
Increase your usage of the MTN Mobile Money. Okay, I hope that will win. Never won any before. But before we go, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has challenged the Muslim community to report perpetrators of violence ahead of the 2020 elections. Addressing hundreds of Muslims at the Independence Square here in Accra as part of activities to mark Eid-ul-Adha, the Vice President urged Muslims not to renege in upholding the dignity of Islam, which stands for peace and tolerance.
Hundreds of Muslims thronged the Independence Square for prayers to kickstart celebrations for the Eid-ul-Adha festival. Addressing them, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia called on the Muslim community to be vigilant ahead of the elections. He urged Muslims not to renege in upholding the dignity of Islam, which stands for peace and tolerance.
We should remain vigilant in our communities and neighborhoods. We must watch out for agent provocateurs who will want to breach the peace in order to undo all the successes that we have chalked in our developmental journey so far. Ghana continues to remain an island of peace in a troubled region. We must not let slip from our hands.
The Vice President also hinted of the construction of a medical university in the northern region, as well as 42 secondary schools in the coming months.
The King of Saudi Arabia has responded positively, and there is a plan to build a medical university in the northern part of Ghana, as well as 42 secondary schools.
Minister for Inner Cities and Zongo Development, Mustafa Hamid, explained progress being made as well as various programs being introduced to improve the lot of the Muslim community.
There are many such developments going on. I mean, we've continually talked about the training programs. He talked about the training programs that are going on to equip the youth of the Zongo communities with skills to make them employable and so on. And these are in various professions, ICT, in cuisine promotion programs, various professions like leather making, etc. All of those schemes are what he refers to, because basically we believe in the empowerment of the human being. That's what will lead to a transformation of our country.
Eid-ul-Adha is a festival by the Muslim community globally to commemorate the symbolic sacrifice of Ibrahim's only son, Ismail. In Ghana, the day will be marked across the country with Muslim prayers and later climax with the sacrifice of goats, cows, and sometimes camels. Charles Aitis reports for JoyNews.
Oh, I see camel there. That was a good one. It was great revelation of activities and also great entertainment, and just marking the data yesterday. We hope that you enjoyed it as well, but you're also going to enjoy the rest of our show. But please make sure that you get interactive. Today we'll bring you highlights of day 4. As we hope to expect it for the Ghana Grand Tour. Kujay Yankson is on, but we'll bring you also what took place and the tidbits from day 2 and day 3 as well. But please stay with us for the long haul.